What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So we're just going to jump right into this. DJI released a firmware update for the Mavic 3 about 3 or 4 days ago. I'm a little bit late because I wanted to get a little bit of playtime with this thing and see how it does. So far, so good. It's kind of like a teaser here. But essentially, this is one of the, if not the largest firmware update that we've been waiting for. It finally gave us features that we should have had with the launch of the drone that were not ready. Who knows? But this essentially brings us to firmware update 1.00.0400. It's about a 400 megabyte update. Make sure you've got a good data connection. Make sure you've got plenty of power on the drone, and give yourself some time because this update does take a while to get going. Now, alongside of that, you will also want to upgrade your app to the DJI 1.5.4 in order to take advantage of some of the new features on here. Both of those will need to be updated to do that. Now, so in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about each one of these features, take a look at them, and go from there. So stick around. So jumping right into this, the biggest and probably most notable change or add is going to be the focus track features. These are things like your Spotlight 2.0, this is your Activetrack, this is your point of interest. These are the things that kind of what we buy these drones for, to be able to do them for us. We're gonna break each one of these down kind of individually. So if you're familiar with drones, you'll know that the Spotlight 2.0 and the point of interest, we've seen these on previous DJI drones. Spotlight allows you to select either a moving or a stationary subject, such as a car or a boat, something along those lines, and it will keep that subject locked in the center frame while you still manually control the aircraft. So this is fun if you don't want to focus on trying to keep that subject in center frame, you just want to focus on the flying aspect. You'll definitely like the Spotlight features. Now, point of interest is very simple. This allows you to orbit either, again, a stationary or a moving subject in either a clockwise or a counterclockwise fashion. And of course, you can change the speed of that orbit from slow to medium to fast, and do things that way. So like I said, we've seen both of those on previous drones. They're not really anything new. What is new is the new Activetrack 5.0. This is supposed to be kind of like the beast of the tracking capabilities. We've seen Activetrack before, but the 5.0 is supposed to use like a new 3D imaging tech on it. It's supposed to have better return to home. It's supposed to have better tracking capabilities, but obviously still using the obstacle avoidance. Now, with this being said, we can now select whether we want the drone to fly in front of us, behind us, left or right, or even at 45-degree angles. Because the Mavic 3 does have the omnidirectional sensing, it allows us to be able to do those things. And so far, so good. I was able to track the truck at varying speeds in some different conditions, kind of on a winding road, and it did great. And from what I understand is this thing is also supposed to have a better tracking if it ends up losing the subject because of speed, because of something that got in front of the lens. It's supposed to be able to continue to search for it and pick it up even better than before. Like I said, so far so good, time will tell. Now, the other big things here that we've added is the master shots. We've seen this on the Air 2S. This is essentially allows you to set kind of like a designated flight area, like size. So it allows you to select a subject, you hit start, it'll do its thing, and it'll execute up to 10 different clips that it will then stitch together and create a short cinematic reel that you can post up on a social media platform. With the Mavic 3, we do have the option to shoot that in 4K. If I remember correctly, the Air 2S, we were limited to 1080p, at least in the beginning. But I like the feature. I don't use it a ton, but I think it's really cool to have, especially if you want to just get some quick, cool shots and let the drone do the talking. Then it's really nice to have. So now, as far as the Hyperlapse, we got Hyperlapse here. This allows you to speed up time and movement. If you're unfamiliar with Hyperlapses, it basically goes and takes a bunch of photos and then stitches those together to make a short movie or a short clip. And this gives us, you can do it in free, you can do it in circle, you have the waypoints, you have the course lock. Again, we saw this feature on some of the other drones, but we now have it on the Mavic 3. Now, that being said, there are a couple of caveats to the at least the Spotlight or the focus track tech. You don't have the ability to use that while shooting in 5.1K video. We are limited to 4K at up to 60 frames. And then we're also limited to shooting it in normal mode. If you want to shoot in D-Log, you will not be able to use the focus track technology. So keep that in mind. However, this last kind of notable update that I think is definitely one that speaks for me because I love to do photography with the drones. We now have the ability to just select RAW. We don't have to worry about selecting JPEG or JPEG and RAW and then have to worry about sifting through a bunch of useless JPEG photos that we're probably not going to use. We can now just use the raw type of format. So those are the biggest changes with this update. There are some smaller things like bug fixes. They reduced the video recording noise from ProRes if you have the Mavic 3 Cine model, reduced occasional vibration of the aircraft arms in some scenarios. They improved return to home performance, obstacle avoidance, and hover stability. And then they did fix an issue where some computers were having issues connecting to the aircraft via a USB. I don't know if that was strictly restricted to the Cine model or if it was a blanket across both of them, but in any case, they've fixed that, as well as fixed abnormal color appeared in some scenarios. Never encountered that. And then they did fix some things on the remote controller. So there you have it. That's the update for the Mavic 3. It's a big firmware update. I'm excited to see what we get in the future. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we still don't have panoramic shooting, and we also don't have quick shots. So hopefully we'll see those in a future update as well. So, but that's going to wrap it up for this week's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you liked it. You got something out of it. So far, I've gone through 3 different batteries. Haven't noticed anything weird going on. I'll be sure to continue doing that. If I see something, I'll do either an updated video or I'll post up a pinned comment that you guys can check out. If you guys are having issues or you have any other feedback or you want to talk about anything, leave your comments down below and I'll get to those as soon as I can. But essentially, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow this channel, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Oh, happy flying. No.